So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr War Games, and with all the decks nowadays in the meta, playing backrow again, like especially things like Salmon Grates, where like the whole deck is just based around making a board with floodgate, with just like negation traps on the field, with some monsters in play. I thought, why not? Best time to do a Jinzo deck profile. So I built this deck after, I will be honest, initially watching the episode where Show from GX takes on the Psycho style duelist, so Cyber Dark or Cyber style versus Jinzo style. And that initially got me wanting to build the deck as a complete deck. So I got all the pieces, and just recently I put it all together again, as I said, with all the backrow decks going around. I thought, why not build this deck for fun? So, with all that said and done, I'm going to crack into the profile. The extra deck is very small just because you're not really going to either be going into it as often, or you're only going to go into it with the text that you play in the deck. So the extra deck the rest of the extra deck is like open to you, but I'll explain that again when I get to the extra deck. So let's crack on into it. So first off, you have to play your 3 main boss monster. The whole point of the deck is 3 copies of Jinzo. Classic boss monster. Always been around in the meta in one way or another. Especially nowadays, I even see some pendulum decks or some special heavy decks siding in Jinzos just because it's an easy free summon, which with a big body that negates traps, can really help put those certain decks, give them an issue or problem to deal with, like Alter Ice and, as I said, Salmon Grates. So 3 copies of Jinzo. I'm playing 2 copies of Jinzo Lord. I'm thinking of dropping this guy down to just 1 copy, but I'm playing around with 2 copies just to see how it goes. Jinzo Lord is a really cool boss monster, or like big boss monster, ace for the Jinzo archetype. Can not be normal summon as a set, can only be special summon except by sending a face-up Jinzo you control to the graveyard. Trap cards cannot be activated, and all effects of traps on the field are negated. Once per turn, you can destroy all face-up traps and fit 300 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed by its effect. And there's a 2600 body as well. Level 8, so if you wanted to put it in, you can put some trade-ins in here. Trading can go quite well in this deck just because of the sub-engine that I'm playing in the deck. Just to help give Jinzo some backup. So, yeah, 2 copies of Jinzo Lord. 3 copies of Jinzo Ejector. If you resolve this, you're in a very good position. So you contribute Jinzo Ejector and add a Jinzo from deck to hand. And then you check all backrow your opponent controls. For every trap card among them, you special summon 1 Jinzo for a Jinzo monster from your hand. So Jinzo Ejector is a really nice card. If you know your opponent's playing backrow, if they just set some backrow, you can just like summon Jinzo Ejector, tribute it, and just be like, okay, cool. You're either negating this or your whole backrow is going to be negated and rendered useless. So it's a really good bait out card. So 3 copies of Jinzo Ejector. And then 2 copies of Jinzo Returner just to round up the Jinzo lineup. This card can just attack directly, but if it's when this card is sent to graveyard, you can special summon 1 Jinzo from your graveyard, but destroy it during the end phase. So, but during your end phase as well. So if you get to resolve this effect during your opponent's turn, you at least get to keep your Jinzo for your turn, which then you can like tribute it off with Jinzo Lord and stuff like that. So Jinzo Return is a nice card, but I'm only playing it as a 2-of just because I think 3 will clog too much. I'd rather use my normal summon on my Jinzo Ejector. So now going on to the other engine in the deck. I'm playing the Barrel Dragon engine, you could say. So 3 copies of BM4 Blast Spider. You can destroy. You can once per turn target a dark machine monster you control and one face-up card your opponent controls. You can destroy them. And then if a monster you control that was originally a dark machine destroys an opponent's monster or monsters by battle or card effect and send it to graveyard, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the original attack of one of those monsters destroyed and send it to the graveyard. You can use this effect of BM4 Blast Spider once per turn. I mostly just use this for spot removal and to help trigger off my Desperado Barrel Dragon. So Barrel Dragon just gives the deck another ace, another beat stick in the deck, another boss monster you could say, just to help control the board. Jinzo controlling the back row, Blast. Barrel Dragon helps control the monsters and other face-up cards. And then Blast Spider helps get rid of those problematic floodgates that are annoying you and are in your way. So the cool thing is that Blast Spider can just destroy itself to destroy a card, and then you can just summon Barrel Dragon from your hand. Very nice card. Even though this is supposed to be against the Cyber style, I'm playing 2 copies of Cyber Dragon. It's a free tribute fodder for the deck, just to help summon your Jinzo. If you feel like you can't resolve your Jinzo ejector. But it also just helps you go into things like Mega Fleet, just to out problematic but extra monsters. In Tournament monsters, I'm playing 2 copies of YUGIOH. I thought it could fit quite well in this deck, just as another way to help beef up your Jinzos and just regain life points as well. And again, more bodies on the board to help tribute summon your boss monsters. So I'm just testing out YUGIOH just to see how it goes. But YUGIOH can be anything you want. It can even be some extra hand traps that you want to put in the deck. That's it for monsters. Moving on to spells, I'm playing 2 copies of Heavy Metal Raiders and 1 copy of Terraforming. 3 Metal Raiders would be way too much for the deck. It would just be complete dead draws and dead hands. So I'm going for a 2-in-1 ratio. So Metal Raiders is actually really helpful for Jinzo, just because first time each dark monster machine you control will be destroyed by battle each turn is not, and if you took damage from that battle, it gains that much attack after damage calculation and keeps that attack gain as long as this card is on the field. Once per turn, if a monster you control that was originally a dark machine monster destroys a card cards in the field by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 dark machine from your hand. So again, more ways to just get your Jinzo onto the board, and helps protect it from destruction by battle, and even gives it an attack boost, which can combo quite well with one of the cards I have in the deck. 3 copies of Allure of Darkness, because everything in here is a dark except Cyber Dragon. 1 copy of Foolish Bells to help combo with the Jinzo Returner. You can then just send a copy of Jinzo to the graveyard and then you can just get it back later on. 1 copy of Reasoning, because we do have multiple levels and just getting that free body on the field can be very handy. 1 copy of Inferno Reckless Summon. I didn't want to build a deck around this. I know a lot of Jinzo players do. Just because you summon your returner, your ejector. Ejector is treated as Jinzo in the field, and then you can just go Inferno Reckless, get 2 more Jinzos on the field, and then there you go. You got your you're getting a good board. But the only thing I don't like is that your opponent gets to summon as well, and it has to rely on your opponent to have a monster in the field. So I don't want to have too many cards, because I'm already playing Cyber Dragon as well. I don't want to have too many cards that rely on my opponent having monsters on the field. So I'm only taking it as a one-off, just because if you can resolve it, then great. You can go Inferno and get 2 Jinzos on the field. But I don't want to rely on this resolving. If it was like a machine duplication, exactly like if Ejector can be machine duped, then yeah, I would go Ejector, max out Ejector, max on machine dupe. But because I can't, I'm not going to do that. 2 copies of Limiter Removal. 3 would be way too much. You don't need 3. Like if you're resolving Limiter Removal, you either should be winning that match or even getting close to that. So only 2 copies. But I'm playing 1 Air Cracking Storm. This is an equipment spell, equip only to a machine monster. When an attacking monster destroys your opponent's monster by battle, you can activate this effect. You can make a second attack during this battle phase. Your other monsters cannot attack during the turn you activate this effect. So this combo is very well with the field spell. Just because if I just get the field spell out, as each time your Dark Machine monster you control is destroyed by battle, it is not, and then it gains that attack equal to the damage you took. So what you could do is, after your Metal Raiders resolved the first time and your monster's in play, you can equip Cracking Storm to that monster. You can then, because now your monster would be tied with your opponents, due to how math works, you can essentially quote unquote crash your monster into that first battle. That monster will be destroyed, yours won't, and then Cracking Storm will resolve. Since your monster did kill something in battle, you can attack again, so you can, like, if your opponent has nothing left, you can swing directly for high damage. So really cool card. I do like Air Cracking Storm. Also just combos very well with limited removal as well. So this is a one-off. This is a nice card. One monster reborn, just because reviving stuff in the graveyard is good. One copy of Dark Hole. This can be Regeki if you want to. And 2 spicy attacks in here, because Mask Change 2 is just good in any good generic dark deck. Just getting out a Dark Law, tributing a Returner, getting out Dark Law, and then Returner resolving, getting you a Jinzo. It's a very nice card. As far as I know, it works. I can't remember if Returner misses timing, but yeah, 2 copies of Mask Change 2 is very nice. And then to round up the spells, 1 copy of Foolish Burial Goods to combo with the first of the traps, which is Proton Blast. Proton Blast is for the Battle Dragon support, if you couldn't tell by the artwork. So once per turn, if the activated card effect tosses a coin immediately as its effect resolves, apply the following effects depending on the number of heads. 1. Inflict 500 damage to your opponent. 2. Destroy 1 card your opponent controls. 3. Look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 card from their hand. When an effect is activated that tosses a coin 2 or more times, you can banish this card from the graveyard, treat all results as heads. So you do that with your Desperado, your popping, as far as I know, remember, for as far as my memory goes, you're getting 3 pops, I think. So yeah, toss a coin 3 times, draw face up monsters on the field up to number of heads. Then if the result was 3 heads, you can draw 1 card. This card cannot attack during the turn. Yes, this effect is activated. So Proton Blast, just combos very well with Desperado. You're getting 3 pops, and if you have 1 already on the field, you're getting another pop. That's 4 pops, 500 damage to your opponent, discard a card from your opponent's hand, and you get to draw a card. Like literally 2 cards doing all that. It's just absolutely insane. And Burial Goods helps get this in the graveyard. So to round out the deck, I'm playing just 2 Torrential Tributes just to help get the board wipes going. You're not going to have Jinzo in the field all the time, let's be honest. This is not how Yu-Gi-Oh works. As much as we want to, you're just not. So having a few traps like Torrential Tribute just to wipe the board clean can be very handy. Again, can combo quite well with your Returner. Some of your Returners set a back row or 2. Your opponent goes all off and you go, cool, Torrential Tribute, wipe out the board. Oh, I get Jinzo now. So it's very, very cool. Moving on to the extra deck again. The extra deck is not complete because, in all honesty, it is just whatever you really want it to be. These are just the cards that I can recommend. Cleefort Genius because you're playing machine cards. Rewitch because everything except Cyber Dragon is dark, and even then the thing that you're going to summon off Cyber Dragon is dark anyway, so Rewitch can be very good, giving you that extra attack points that you need. Cyber Dragon Seeger, just because if you're playing Cyber Dragon in a machine deck, you can in theory go to Seeger, give your monsters more attack points. Having like a Jinzo with this in play, Jinzo swinging for 4,500 attack points, that's very, very strong damage there. Underclock Taker, just because it's nice and generic, and Deco Talker for just a nice generic Link 3. 2 copies of Dark Law, obviously, because you're playing the Mask Change 2. and 1 Mega Fleet Dragon because you're playing Cyber Dragon. You can also play Fortress, but I don't really put Fortresses in the extra deck anymore just because unless I know the meta is heavily reliant on machines, I'm not going to put Fortress in the extra deck. Just because you can't guarantee you're going to let that resolve. So that, guys, is the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's just a fun deck just to, you know, give a little nod to the current meta, as you could say, or like the top decks that we have running around. So there's that. One thing I was also thinking of putting in here was Red Reboot. I couldn't find my spare copies, but 3 copies of Red Reboot can combo quite well with Jinzo. Just because if they have 1 trap card activated, you can just Red Reboot them, force them to set another one, or let them set another one, and then when they think they're all okay because they now got an additional set, you can then just like summon your Jector and then resolve Jector, getting 2 Jinzos on the field. So that can be a cool little combo there. But yeah, that, guys, is the deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below what you think. And until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.
What's up, YouTube? Dan here from Zephyr War Games. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please hit that big thumbs up button in the bottom corner as well. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. And make sure you click that notification bell as well so you know every time one of our new videos goes up. Throughout the whole year of 2019, we're going to have more deck profiles, duels, and of course pack openings for you guys to watch and enjoy the entire year round. So stay tuned for more, and as always, guys, happy dueling.